An international protest movement has erupted after a Toronto police officer reportedly made a flippant comment back in January. Now, word is the officer said that women could avoid being raped by not dressing like sluts.
Saying by dressing provocatively. I mean, I think they're saying I'm easy. I'm asking you to look at me as a sexual object rather than a woman worthy of respect. And I think these women that are marching and saying I should be able to wear whatever I want and have absolutely no responsibility for it.
Nature of the question is to allocate blame for the victimization on the part of the victim.
Okay, so you're telling me you have experience that perverts are looking at you. That's because you're dressed in a way where they will look at you.
I remember feeling like mortified, just thinking like, oh my God, why did this happen to me? I mean, just all of those horrible thoughts going through my head. Blaming myself.
The situation here for this kid looks to me to be a lot more fun than what he had under his old parents. He didn't have to go to school. He could run around, do what he wanted. I think when it all comes down, what's going to happen is there was an element here that this kid liked about his circumstances. This kid was repeatedly raped and abused by his abductor for 2 years.
She is leaving her home at 1 a.m. in the morning, and nobody forced her to drink. And what happens? She gets caught by her mom. She's embarrassed. And the easy way out here is, Mom, someone took advantage of me.
An officer by the name of Rob Gary Evans walked into a bar in Arizona, and he walked into that bar completely drunk. He flashed his badge to the bodyguard at the front door so he wouldn't have to pay cover. Then he approached a woman wearing a skirt, put his hands up her skirt, and reached for her genitals.
Modesty go hand in hand. I think when a woman is dressing in an immodest way, in a provocative way, she's got to think about what is she saying by her dress.
But what did she expect to happen at 1 a.m. in the morning after sneaking out? I'm not saying, assuming that these facts are accurate and this did happen, I'm not saying that she deserved to be raped, but knowing the facts as we do here, including what the prosecutor has set forth, this case is going nowhere, and it's going nowhere quick.
They said horrible things about me. They called me a slut, and I was like the running joke. I was the running joke at work, and because of that, I didn't say anything.
August 2nd, 2006, on the air, O'Reilly blamed a rape and murder victim for her own terrible death. So anyway, he said, these two girls come in from the suburbs and they get bombed and their car is towed because they're moronic girls and, you know, they don't have a car. Jennifer Moore, 18, on her way to college. She was 5'2", 105 pounds, wearing a mini skirt and a halter top with a bare midriff. Now again, there you go. So every predator in the world is going to pick that up at 2 in the morning.
The judge in this case has decided that the crime is not serious enough to warrant a jail sentence.
Is taken an alleged victim of rape and turned her into a liar and a crime committer.
But I want to stay specifically on this point.
They're asking for sex. They're asking for sex if they're dressing
women
immodestly.
Women are asking for sex by the way that they're dressed? Yes. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
There are women that speak out about experiences that have happened to them, about their rape experiences, and time and again, everyone tells them, well, it was your fault. You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done that.
She's not really blaming the officer for what he did. She's blaming the victim for being at a bar. So here's what she said when she talked about this case. She says to the woman, to the victim, if you wouldn't have been there that night, none of this would have happened to you.
She said they were trying to set us against each other. Yeah. Now that's a classic move by cops and prosecutors on criminals, where they say, oh, you better turn him in first, you know? Oh, he's selling you out as we speak. But these are the victims.
Yep.
So why would they do that to the victims?
That was your daughter. But it isn't. If that was my daughter, I wouldn't care. I'd just let her be dead. And is it really rape because you don't know if she wanted to? She might have wanted to. That might have been her final wish.
A serious story. Colorado Republican Senate candidate Ken Buck is under fire for refusing to prosecute an alleged rape case when he was district attorney back in 2005.
Well, he actually convinced her in the audio tape that she released, he actually convinced her over and over again that her case wasn't worth it. And at one point actually said that this entire case would go public and that she should be ashamed of it and basically go away.
And if someone rapes you, it is the rapist's fault, not yours. I wish someone had said that to me. I wish I had had someone that told me that wasn't my fault and that I should speak up.
that we have to stop blaming victims for these crimes. No one ever asked the person who got robbed at gunpoint in the street, why were you there? What were you doing? What were you wearing? What did you say? Did you offend someone?